Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A happy Monday to you all. Hopefully your week is off to a great start. This Red Velvet era for me is most certainly off to a great start because I thoroughly enjoyed the title track. But, of course, we have B-sides to get around to it. It's not just like a handful. It's not just a couple of B-sides. We have 9 flipping B-sides to get through because through Red Velvet's most recent drop, the Chill Kill album, studio length. 10 songs in total, including the title track, and we're going to be listening through them all today. If you're new around here, you've never been around for an album listening with me before, we just go through the album one song at a time. I read through song credits, see who's worked on it, listen through the song, talk through it, the usual 9 yards. If this survived the YouTube content ID, check timeline below is going to be chapter based off of whatever song we're listening to, so you can refer to your song choice. If you want to skip ahead to a specific song, you're more than free to do so. If you're in it for the long haul like me, let's get started because we do not have a lot of time to get through, and we have 2 more albums for me to get through today. So let's get through this sharpish. DJ, throw the intro. Now, typically on album listens, we skip the title track because, I've already done a video on it, and then it saves a few minutes of going through the title track again. I'm gonna run through the title track one more time, just because on the MV version we had a really nice long cinematic break inside the bridge that broke apart the feeling of the song, to make way for the cinematic effect. And I kind of want to know how it's put together. So we're gonna run through Chill Kill again. And it also gives me an excuse to go through song credits and stuff. So this is track number 1, Chill Kill. Lyrics by Kenzie. Composition Kenzie, Jonathan Guzmark, Ludwig Evers, Moa Cassiopeia, Carl Bevker, and Ellen Berg. Arrangement by Moonshine and Kenzie. Now, if you want to listen to me give like full thoughts through the title track, there's a video on the channel already on its own. And also, one last admin point, I don't know what the accuracy of the lyric videos are today. I just found Jenduki had the entire collection of the album lyrically color-coded. So thank you in advance, but also apologies in advance if there are any accuracies. I'm not responsible for those. I'm not really going to be paying too close attention to them. I just want to listen to the song and have some kind of visual effect to go along with it. So, here we go. And of course, this will be second listen for me because I only listened to this about 10 minutes ago. I wonder what this would sound like in the car. It's so bright. It's so bright. So weirdly bright. I don't know why. It works though. And then that brightness is all gone. So well done. You know? When I was listening to the MV, I didn't clock onto the fact that rap line and main vocal line switch roles on that second pre-chorus. That's very cool. And then it goes straight into Wendy. I like that transition without the cinematic cut. I would kind of almost want that little interlude to continue one more cycle before we go into Wendy. Joy pops, and then the full release comes here instead of when it would have come here. The way they kicked the melody up one extra notch higher there. The way they peter it off at the end. It's just such a fun song to listen to from a compositional point, because it does a song. I think a really well-written song for me is going to take me on a journey. A pretty standard bop where it's the energy is consistent from beginning to end is a good song, and I don't have problems with it. But some of my favorite songs are those songs that really take you on a musical and spiritual and emotional journey when you're listening to it. And Chill Kill for me really does take you on a musical journey. It's a little bit dark and gloomy, then there's sun's breaking through the clouds. Oh, it's ridiculously bright. Oh, drop back down. Sun's hidden behind the clouds. I think that's very cool. But we have the B-sides to get into. We have, I've mentioned before, 9 B-sides to get through, so let's keep them snappy. This is track number 2, Knock Knock, parentheses, Who's There? Lyrics by Jo Yoon Kyung. Composition, Jin by Jin, Moa Cassiopeia, Carl Becker, Ellen Berg, and arrangement, Jim by Jim. Send it. A little spooky again. Oh, the beat has got a really interesting pace to it. The little pitched shoulder string section there, add a little bit of texture. Oh, I love the string hits are adding the dramatic texture in the instrumental part here. As a violin player of 10 plus years, this makes me very happy. Oh yeah, it does have a little bit of eeriness to it, and I think the level it has is really tasteful because it's not overwhelmingly dark and sinister, it's just a hint of it. It's such a simple thing, but I love the unison choruses that Red Velvet do. It's just so big. Oh, that's not the chord sequence I expected there. Hello. And I love the little fills that we get vocally. Oh, and a bona fide outro. I actually really like Knock Knock Who's There. It's kind of written in a way where it does have that pop song structure to it, but because of that big emphasis on the strings within the instrumental, it also has a bit of a classical like compositional style as well. It's like the big growth, like the big crescendos, the decrescendos, especially the little like outro section at the end. You really feel the pluckiness of the plucked strings. And it's like the attack of it is so soft and it's almost like a bubble popping, just poof, poof, poof. And I think that's so neat. And I'm probably a little bit biased towards that just because, again, string instruments are my bread and butter. I grew up playing string orchestra since I was 10. And admittedly, I haven't played for about 4 years, but I'm 26 now. I've been playing violin for a long time. Or at least I did before I went off to do graduate school and stuff. But I just think there's a couple instruments, a couple types of instruments, whenever they get added to a pop song, I really enjoy. Brass-bodied instruments, I adore them. And I'm including saxophones in this one. That's why I call them brass-bodied instruments, because technically, saxophones are woodwind instruments, if you didn't know. But brass-bodied instruments, I just love the loud and the crunchy texture you get from them. Strings, because, well, I can relate to that. If we're talking specific instruments, I think the organ is an underutilized instrument. And I think the iwi, especially for those 80s and 70s inspired tunes, I think an iwi is underappreciated as well. But strings, on a song like this, where it is a little bit darker, but it has a little bit of elegance to it, I think is such a great combo. And again, it's a Red Velvet song with all of the unison choruses. And the thing about the unison chorus is, in terms of like the music, it just adds a texture to the note that's being sung. It doesn't make the note like bigger by adding, harmony notes and things like that. It's everyone singing the same notes. So while the melody doesn't change a whole lot, you get the different textures to it. And the thing with Red Velvet is, when that happens, you know that is like the focal point of the song. That is like the big moment of the song. And to get so much of it just makes me so happy, because it is one of my favorite characteristics about a Red Velvet song is the unison choruses, because they've done it for so long, and every single time has been like, yes, this is time, this is the time, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. All right, let's keep her moving one time. This is Underwater. Now, I've seen a lot of people post about this on the Reddit forum, or at least on the Reddit thread for the album, say that this was like the B-side for them, so I'm very excited for it. This is Underwater, lyrics by Kim Bone of Jam Factory, composition B-Ham, Dees, and Lourdes, and B-Ham and Dees on arrangements. All right, let's see what everyone's talking about. Oh! You know, it's probably wrong of me to wonder if we were gonna get just an absurdly bright song in here. Oh, I was about to make a comment saying that, man, it's low and loaded. They just cut the entire low end out for this pre-chorus. I will give this song this. It's an impressionable song, like it is one of those words, but it's so end-loaded to the low end. And it's like, even with just simple earbuds in, I can feel my brain rattling listening to this. And there's some very tasteful chord choices in here as well. Nice stack, overlap the ends there. And again, we're getting the flexibility of the little vocal ad-libs up top again. That last line of the chorus is so cool. it like completely breaks free from the chord sequence that the rest of the chorus follows. Yeah, that last line of the chorus is everything for me. That's so nice. And in fact, I almost wonder if the reason this song is so bass-loaded is that it's meant to give off that impression of it being underwater. Like, sometimes we come across songs that are extremely appropriately titled, and Underwater very much feels like that end-loaded feeling you get from all of the 808 in this song really makes it feel like it's kind of submerged like underwater as like the song is playing. And that's such an interesting like sound dynamic and like soundstage you get from this. Very creative, the mixing they've done with this. And the thing is, it works for me, especially because the song is so bass heavy, right? And then all of a sudden you get to the pre-chorus, it's nowhere to be seen. Like, there is not a hint of bass anywhere in that pre-chorus. And you're like, where the hell did it go? And it's like you're almost coming out of the water, you know, to catch your breath before you're going back down, or almost falling back down in a way. I think that is so cool, because that is probably the most amount of contrast you can do is get rid of it entirely. Case in point. And yeah, that last line of the chorus is, very tasteful indeed. It's a song for me, and I don't know if this is like wrong of me to say, but it feels very Seulgi solo coded to me. Like, you know, 28 Reasons era. It's got that kind of like slow pulsing, like pulsating sensation to it. And it feels like a song that would have been on Seulgi's solo album. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or not, but it's definitely a charismatic song, and I will give them that. They've definitely gotten the charismatic part of Underwater down perfectly. Very interesting. Right, next up, track number 4, Will I Ever See You Again? Lyrics by Yi Junhwa of 153 Jumbas, Kang Eunjung, Lee Hye-yum of Jam Factory, Lee Suran, Yi Moon-sol. Composition, Mats Genk, Nermin Harambasic, Moa Cassiopeia Karlbecker, Siv Marit Egseth, Hugo Solis, Christian Dahl Bergsland, and then Mats Genk on arrangements. Not a lot of familiar faces in the composition side of things, which is very cool. Holy reverb. Do you hear how echoey this song is? Beats slowing down, instruments are going away. Hello, release! Oh my goodness! Okay, yeah, the composition for this is actually kind of crazy. I like it. I love the reverb on it. I love the perpetual electric guitar. I love the weird kind of cowbelly percussion part. And this release, oh man, you get the full brunt of it as it goes away. It almost sounds like there's like a male vocal singing the 2 octaves below. That's adding like the low richness. Give it to me again. I want someone on a high note in the background just soaring. That's what I wanted. Oh! Taking it up the octave one final time for the "When Will I See You Again" line. Okay, so far, B-side of the album for me. I love the listening experience of Will I Ever See You Again. It's everything going on with it is like getting me very excited to listen to it. The reverbiness, like the soundstage for this is huge. You can hear the song, like if this song was playing, let's say in New York, it feels like the soundstage ends in like Nova Scotia. It's massive. The composition and the instrumental choices for it, it's like that very first pre-chorus where they start taking away one instrument away at a time until it's just the vocal part left. And then the "Will I Ever See You Again?" And then the huge rush of synths that come in. It feels almost synthwave coded in a way. Like the impact that the synths have on entry really feels synthwave coded, and I love that. I did not know I needed like synthwave-esque Red Velvet in my life. And especially with that synthesizer part paired with the unison vocal chorus, is so good. It's like you wake up in the morning and you like splash cold water in your face. It feels like I've just woken up again. Oh man, that's very nice. And then of course at the end we get the high notes involved from the members, and shout out Joy getting involved with the high notes in there at the end. It was almost like it was like really pushing close to those whistle tones, and that was very neat. Because I'm pretty sure Joy had the highest note in the song, and that's not often that's the case, considering when you have a group with vocal range as wide as Sugi and Wendy, Joy doesn't really get a whole lot of chances to really send her voice like up into the stratosphere, so I'm glad we got a little bit of that on this one. Nice. Yep. Nightmare, track number 5. Alright, Mokjimin of La La Studio on lyrics. Composition, David Anthony Eames, Mo Cassiopeia Carlbecker, Ellen Berg, and then Bangkok on arrangements. It's a song in 3. Songs in 3 are just different gravy. There's something about them. I love that on a beat where the song just naturally skips, the vocal top line skips even faster or even harder than the beat, and then we get moments like that where we get the big held notes like that. Oh. Now this is kind of going along the lines of Chill Kill in that it's not an explicitly bright song from the beginning, but the chorus is very bright. Oh, and ended on the vocal harmony for me. And then we're back into the skipping beat again. I'll explain at the end on my views on songs written in 3, because I love songs in 3. Oh. And the fact that that release is so clearly telegraphed to the vocal top line too. I'm so happy they added the vocal harmony at the end of the choruses there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Yes! We got a really nice long hold on that high note. That harmony. And then they take that melody, throw it in a minor key, and then do it again. Whoa! Okay, that final chorus has just kind of made the song for me. I really like the song up until that final chorus already, but that final chorus really sold it for me. Okay, let's talk about this one. Songs in 3. While much like in actual mathematics where if you take 3, divide it by 2, if you work with fractions or remainders, you can divide 3 into 2 evenly, 1.5. In music, it's the same way. You can divide a measure in 3 evenly in 2 halves if you use fractions or dotted notes. So dotted quarter notes gets a beat and a half in music theory. So 2 dotted quarter notes makes 3 beats. But if you don't work with fractions like that, there is no even way to divide 3. And because of it, when you listen to songs written in 3, they'll have a natural little lilt or a skip in the beat. That's why most, if not all waltzes, the classical dance type, all waltz type songs are written in 3/4 time because the dance movement allows for that natural lilt action to be translated into physical form. So a song written in 3 will always have a little bit of a distinct skip or a lilt in the beat, kind of like a swaying action. Nightmare, exactly the type of song you want that kind of sensation to it, because it has kind of like that Halloween ball type of aesthetic to it, I think, and it's brilliant. And so you have the pre-established beat, the swinging beat in 3, but then you have the vocal top line above it, very quick cadence on, I'd say, a good majority of the vocal top lines. All of them are also having their own kind of skipping element because of the cadence that they're being sung in. So you have the beat going da 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 da, but you have the top line going like da 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 da. It's like the top line and the instrumental track both have a little bit of a skip in their step. They're at very different rates. But because of it, you get the kind of activity you get from an otherwise not very quick song, and that's so nice to listen to. And the final chorus, you get all the nice little vocal ad-libs. That final line in the chorus to finish every single time with the harmony is one of my favorite things about this album. So it's one of my favorite points throughout this album so far, and we're halfway through now. And then at the very end, the little outro section, it goes a little bit darker. They take that very last like measure or two of the chorus, take it down from the major key down into the minor key to give it that kind of dark, again, nightmare sensation. And I think that's so cool. Oh, this Nightmare might be B-side of the album for me now. Oh, man. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. And just because, you know, we're only halfway, I reckon there's going to be a couple more, like, top-tier B-sides for me that's really going to make B-side of the album challenging for me. But welcome to the second half of the album. This is Iced Coffee, track number 6, lyrics by Jo Yoon Kyung. Composition, Alina Smith, Annalise Morelli, 153 Jumbas, Gabriela De Martino, and then Liar on arrangements. Couple familiar names in there. Whoa! Oh, it's so smooth and so pretty. It sounds wintry in a way. It's like, this is the kind of song I would imagine playing while you're sitting indoors, like huddled up under a blanket with your loved one, on, like sitting together on the couch watching a movie with the fireplace going in the corner, and then like some flurries going outside, you know, gentle snow showers outside. It's got that kind of vibe to it, and I love it. Oh, and that little string glissando to start the chorus too. Ooh, cheeky little octave harmony one time. That little call and response here for the bridge. That's what I'm talking about. That's such a nice release. Oh, and all the harmony pairings for that final chorus, extremely tasteful. Hey! Actually, Yeti finishing it on the lower register is very nice. It's a nice way to kind of bring it back down. Oh, that's so nice. It's very appropriate for this time of year, because it's, you know, it is getting very, like, the sound and genre and feeling I get from the song is very much wintry for me. It's not Christmassy, it's wintry. And as the weather gets colder out, you know, pretty much all the leaves are off the trees now, they're on the ground. Landscapers are having a field day every week because I live in an HOA area, and non sequitur. But this type of year with this type of music is just the perfect vibe. Like, you can listen to this any time of the year, but I reckon the best way to enjoy it is this time of year. Like, leading up to like Christmas through like January when it's cold, and especially for us in the Northern Hemisphere, when it's cold and it's gloomy and it's gray and days are short, it's not very warm. This is the type of music you want to just relax. And that's very nice. And even though there are plenty of moments in it where me as a vocal fan got a lot of really nice vocals, it's not one of those songs that's overwhelming in any way, shape, or form. I can just kind of pop it on, kick back, relax, and just let the song take me places. And honestly, it's a great time. Like, I spent, gosh, what was it, Thursday night after making dinner? I booted up YouTube on the TV and just like queued up a whole bunch of like really chill B-sides. Put the speaker volume down pretty low and just kicked back and just like closed my eyes, leant back on the couch, and this song would have made a perfect addition to that playlist. Oh, very good stretch of songs in the middle of the album here. Righto, this is track number 7, One Kiss, lyrics by Yi Su-ran. Composition, Jonathan Guzmark, Ludwig Evers, Moa Cassiopeia, Carl Becker, and Ellen Berg, with Moonshine on arrangement. Some familiar faces now once we get to this point in the album, and it looks like we're starting straight away. Okay, we bringing back the spooky scary. No bass yet. I was expecting an 808 there. Oh, let me put my stank face on, hold on. Oh, the little vocal hits there. Oh, hold on a second. Again, Joy, get your little vocal moments in there. Key change? Okay, and I wasn't dreaming it. There are brass hits in here. What is happening? Oh, the vocal hits. Oh, it's such a subtle thing. It's so nice, because without it, it would have been so boring without it, I don't think. It makes everything. Genuinely, this middle bulk of the album is spectacular. Like, this has been, it's kind of like SHINee's Heart album. The middle, like 4 or 5 songs has been, of course, it might be unison choruses, but that doesn't mean we get to skimp out on the top end either. boy, this album takes you on a journey, don't it? Oh my goodness. It was like, oh, iced coffee, it's so chill, I can kick back, relax, and then all of a sudden, boom, stank face, eyebrows of truth, just, ooh. And it's honestly such a good time. Wow. Okay, I was not expecting the album to kind of switch it up that much on me. Am I upset by it? Oh god, no, that was so nice. I don't actually know how to articulate One Kiss all that well, to be honest with you. Other than that, boy, it's in your face, isn't it? Especially since it comes after iced coffee. It's like, you want a contrasting moment, you got a contrasting moment. And like, One Kiss is one of those songs where you can really just listen to it in any context and just put on the stank face. But if you listen to this album in order, man, dropping this after iced coffee, it does not get any more of like a switch up than that. And honestly, it makes for quite a nice listening experience because of it. Yeah, like going from probably say like Will I Ever See You Again all the way to One Kiss has been a tremendous B-side selection to choose from. And well, I mean, we still have 3 more, so let's keep her moving one time, eh? This is Bulldozer. Why did I say like this? This is Bulldozer. Lyrics by Bay of 153 June Bus. Composition Jacob Atwool, John Eden, Moa Cassiopeia, Carl Becker, and then Jacob Atwool on arrangements. All right, here we go. Again with the style switch. Whoa. Oh, Joy bringing like a little bit of a hybrid delivery there. Again, melodic and rhythmic. Oh, that's very cool. Irene. Miss Juhyun, please. Oh, my heart can only take so much. This song is low, actually. I'll give this song this. It brings the attitude, doesn't it? Was that second verse real? Did we just... Oh, I've lost. I've completely got lost in the sauce. I didn't clock if we even had a second pre-chorus or not. Oh no. Sometimes the beat's too good and you get lost in the sauce, man. I can't. I'll put my hands up. Oh, little triplet action. Oh, with the giggle at the end too. Oh, how dare you. Oh, how dare you. Oh. Well, damn. Okay. The attitude has gone up a notch on this one, I would say. I don't know if it's just me getting too lost in the sauce, or this song's kind of taking liberties on the kind of song structure formula that's almost become standardized in K-pop at this point, or just in pop music in general. But I feel like this song did not follow that convention at all. And because of it, I kind of like it. You know, it's one of those rebellious songs where it's like they give you a formula and the composers go nah and just kind of go crazy with it, which makes following the song really interesting. Because as someone who's, you know, listened to a lot of K-pop music this year and has for a fairly long time now, you can kind of guess where you are on like a song you've never heard of before, just from how it feels, because most songs will follow that formula of verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus. That's just become the standard formula for pop music, and it has been for a long time. So whenever you get a song that kind of breaks that formula, and you listen to it for the first time, your brain kind of has to play a little bit of catch-up, because your brain kind of goes on autopilot if it's, you know, in the standard formula of pop songs. You're like, okay, we're in the chorus. Yeah, vibing along with it. Okay, oh, the beat's kind of hard in the verse, like things like that. So when a song like this comes out of nowhere, when a song like Bulldozer comes out of nowhere, it's like, boom, hey, this is a little bit different. Keep up. You really gotta pay attention to keep up. And I, for one, got so lost in the sauce that I couldn't keep up. Was that an enjoyable song regardless? Oh, absolutely. And because that song broke formula, I genuinely didn't clock that it was only 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I thought it went by so quick. And to be fair, 2 minutes 40 is not a long song, but it is a full-length song at this day and age. But it did not. It felt like 2 minutes on the nose. It went by so quick. Oh, but the attitude though. Oh my goodness. Right, we do, I believe, have 2 more songs, so let's get into the penultimate song, number 9, Wings. Lyrics by Jang Jongwon of Jam Factory and Na Jonga of 153 Jumbus. Composition: Greg Bonnick, Hayden Chapman, Adrian McKinnon, Chesterton, my bad, and then 7 Days, with London Noise on arrangements. Lots of familiar names in here. Let's see what this one's all about. Guess smooth vocally one time. Not quite sure where the song is gonna go at the moment right now. It's very smooth and it's very pretty. Now this is interesting, because this song to me kind of feels like an encore song in a way, you know, like an album ender. But there's one more song. Like, the instrumental isn't too invasive on the vocal top line, it carries the momentum very nicely. The vocal top line itself isn't too complicated, lots of smoothness, very pretty. Kind of wish that plucky synth, we got a little bit more of that. That had a really nice texture to it. Oh, interesting background vocal part here. Pop off Wandy. Oh, what a flip from Sugidi there. Again, there's a voice that's an octave low, and then break apart into the harmony for the final yeah. That I could have started that better, but Wings, just the way it kind of invokes the, you know, clapping along to the major beats, waving back and forth, the big gentle harmonies, it feels like a show ender to me. Or like, you know, I don't know how many of you have been to live shows, but typically live shows end with like, you know, like an encore performance, like iconic hits, very nice fan songs, and just a way to bring the artists and the fans together one last time before everyone has to go home for the night. This for me feels like a really nice song to end an album with or end a concert with. Which is weird because this isn't the final song on the album. But, having said that, this song does have a lot of things I like. As a big fan of ballads and the ballad genre, this has a lot of iconic characteristics you get from ballad, just mixed in a form of a admittedly too quick to be a ballad, but too slow to be a standard pop song type of vibe. Got a nice chill groove to it that's a little bit quick for a ballad, but it's got the vocal prettiness to it. It's got the soft, gentle growth you want from a ballad. It's not anything that kind of jumps out at you. It's a very emotionally smooth song to listen to, and that's great. I love a song like this. It's very nice. Now, why is this not the last song on the album? Let's find out, because we have one more song to get through. This is Scenery, song number 10 on the album. Lyrics by Yi Ju-hyung of Monotree. Composition: Yi Ju-hyung of Monotree. Jukjae, Willimin May, Kiara Muscat, with Yi Jun-hyung of Monotree and Jukjae on arrangements. Alright, let's send it one time. This is why that's not Wings isn't the last song, because Scenery, if it doesn't change, straight up ballad. That checks out. It's a song in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! So far, it's pretty much following the formula to, like, the letter for an emotional ballad that I really like. Pete the harmonies! Oh man. This does have the emotional ballad down pat. The arrangement's very nice too. It's so gentle on all the attacks, from the vocal and from the instrumental part. Even that release coming from like a pretty quiet point, very gradual, nice soft release. Interesting how prominent you can hear that acoustic guitar throughout the entire song. I thought they maybe push it further back. You can hear every strum. Sneak a key change in there one time. Again, I forgot what the song was earlier, but it's taking advantage of very smart reverb arrangements and stuff too. Like, they're mixing around the soundscape a little bit so that, say, on moments where it does feel like a transitional phrase where the instruments are taking a step back, the vocals have to take a step back, and they just kind of have to let the song run a little bit. They add a little bit of an effect that maybe adds to the reverb and stuff like that. It does fill out the song very nicely. But overall, Scenery is kind of an out-and-out emotional ballad to a T, and I can't complain about that. I love an emotional ballad. I explained after Wings, I love an emotional ballad. I find them very healing. And with a group that's vocally stacked as Red Velvet are, and have the vocal range as much as Red Velvet have, yeah, this is going to be a great time. I can't complain about it. The instrumentals, of course, the acoustic guitar being a constant throughout, paired with the keys providing the low end instead of a traditional bass, I think is a very nice touch. Really softens the blow on each major chord hit. The vocals themselves also not too harsh on the vocal hits, and you just kind of listen along to it, and it's a very well, it feels like a warm hug in a way. Or at least that's how I perceive it, mainly because I find ballads like this very emotionally healing, so. And that is the Chill Kill album. My goodness, this is one of the longest album like waffles I've done in a hot minute. Was it worth it? Oh, absolutely. This album was spectacular. And it's been, I feel like the last album that I was like this over, like all over in terms of Red Velvet albums might have been the Queendom album. That album had right? It was called Pose. Yeah, it had like Knock on Wood, Pushing and Pulling. Oh, no, that's an extremely enjoyable time. And in fact, it might actually rank very highly towards the end of the year once we get into ranking album of the year lists and stuff like that for the girl groups. Because genuinely, this album was a really nice experience all around. I will say this though, that middle bulk, much like the Shiny album, from like Will I Ever See You Again, Nightmare, Iced Coffee, One Kiss, into Bulldozer, those 5 songs in a row, insane. The middle bulk of the album has no business going that hard. And then putting Iced Coffee where it was, right smack dab in the middle of the album, and then preceding it with just filth and oh my goodness. The album structure is brilliant. And it's one of those albums where you don't need to listen to it in order, you don't need to listen to it in order. There we go. To, I think, thoroughly enjoy it. And I think that's going to work in its favor. Yeah. B-side of the album, I don't know. It genuinely could be any of those 5 songs that I listed earlier. I said Will I Ever See You Again was really good. I said Nightmare was also really good. I thoroughly enjoyed Iced Coffee. I think the shock factor from One Kiss was crazy. And the Bulldozer as a follow-up to that was just so nice. I genuinely didn't know, but this is, for me, one, like, for my music tastes and how I've listened to it on first listen, this is one of my more favorable and favorite Red Velvet eras in recent history. I feel like I've connected to this really quickly, and that's kind of surprising because Red Velvet are one of those groups that I kind of need to process on a couple of songs, but this one was pretty easy listening. Makes me feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. You know that sensation you get when you know you're doing everything right and you get everything done and you feel like you're forgetting something even though you aren't? That's how I feel about this album right now, which is slightly foreign to me. But I'm not going to complain because the music was brilliant and I loved listening to it. But hopefully you did as well. This was great. More Red Velvet content coming soon because we have them on Dingo Killing Voice as well as Wendy on Eugen Service, which I am so tremendously looking forward to because Wendy is one of my favorite vocalists out of 3rd Gen, and Dingo Killing Voice is one of the best pieces of musical content you can get just because, I mean, it doesn't matter if you know the discography by heart or if you've never listened to a group before, the experience is going to be enjoyable nonetheless. So I'm very much looking forward to those throughout the week. But as for the album, that is it for me today. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back to the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day-to-day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.